please welcome Shoana Jensen, our lifestyle expert, talking to us today about dip dyeing. Yeah. So I looked at it and I thought immediately tie-dye.
Very similar, same, very similar. The difference is tie-dye, you'll take a shirt or whatever you want to do and you tie it off in multiple areas and dye them different colors. Very bright, vibrant, very in your face, very, bohemian hippie kind of feeling.
Absolutely.
Dip dye is a similar principle, but it's more subdued, it's a little more sophisticated, so if it matches your personality to be more like that, then this is a good option for you.
Okay.
And this is really a basic beginner DIY. So if you're not crafty out there, this is, or you want to get the kids involved, this is one that's good to start.
Okay, so this is for me.
Yeah,
this is for me.
Well, I didn't want to point my finger at you, but that's kind of what I meant. Okay, so what is dip dye? So it's literally as it says, you're going to dip whatever it is you want to dye, in this case, a t-shirt obviously, into the dye itself. Right. And you can do a lot of different types of things. Now I did this shirt, if you can hold this one, I did 3 almost the exact same, just to show you the 3 different ways of doing it. So,
very cool. This
one, as you can see, it gets lighter and lighter. So what I did is I dipped into the dye and held it for a minute, and then dipped the t-shirt a little bit more. So I don't want to call it full-on ombre effect, but it's a little bit like that.
It is a bit, yeah.
This one, I actually tied off the t-shirt with an elastic.
I like that one.
A la this, and it gives the jaggedy edge.
Yeah.
Look, instead of the, the progressive edge, which is great.
Yeah.
And then this one is the very simple one dip, low, just really subtle, throw it on with some jeans and your beachy casual.
Very cool.
So it gives you the 3 kind of ways of doing it.
And for those of us that shop all the time, you know that you would buy it for $80 in a store.
Actually,
you know those thin little t-shirty material stuff, and they're $80 for a tank top.
These are actually in the window on a store boutique in Queen Street, and they were literally that price point.
It's crazy.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Just make it yourself.
Yeah, and then you can do whatever colors you want, of course. Like this one's orange technically, but it comes out of coral. It depends how long you leave it dip dyed.
Nice.
And then think outside the box as well into other products in your home. So we have, for example, I did a pillowcase.
This is pretty.
Dip dyeing that. Really,
so
breezy,
did you tie this one with the elastic?
Okay, I'll show you. And then, on the same premise, because I'll show you this first, and then because that one is not an elastic. Look, I did a scarf. Isn't that beautiful?
That's really nice.
I think this is really beautiful. Very like St. Bart's, very posh feeling.
That is very nice.
So when it comes to the square items like the pillowcases, I've got a plain one here, and it's about the fold. So what we're trying to accomplish with this is you want like a line at the top and a line at the bottom.
Right.
So instead of dipping them, I'm just going to fold it so the 2 outsides meet.
Okay.
And then fold it, just so it's big enough for your container.
And then
so you've got the 2 outsides and the bottom. So you only have to dip it once. So you don't have to dip it and then turn it upside down. And it's literally, it's as easy as this. I mean, it doesn't get any easier. So before I dip that, we've got the dye, the fabric dye. I got all of this stuff at Walmart. So everything's, great affordable craft as well, including the fabric dye. And it comes in a little box like this. It's the powder that's in a tube. In a squeegee bottle. You add a little water to it and give it a shake. Now this is the part where you have to be careful. Do not wear your favorite clothes doing this craft. Do not wear, you're gonna hide. Because this is full-on fabric dye. This is not going to wash out, okay?
And obviously, it's not going to wash out. That's right.
No,
this is fabric dye.
You are full-on dyeing.
Obviously, the darker the color, the more careful you have to be. Or do they all come out that deep?
They all come out this deep. If you want it lighter, you add more water or less dye, depending on your
Don't you want to wear these?
Yes, you definitely want to wear them.
They're so cute.
I know. Aren't they fabulous?
Yeah.
You can't have boring
I'm not going to do anything, but I'm going to put them on.
It's going to completely dye your hands if you do. So you want to put the rubber gloves on, an apron if you need to, kids in their play clothes, whatever. And then you dip it, and you literally just hold it in. Now I'm going to dip it, but
Want me to do it?
Okay, but don't get splashed.
Okay.
So literally, don't be too scared.
Okay.
And then with your other hand, push down the fabric, just slide it there, and just hold it. Now, this craft is not for someone who is obsessive compulsive, or not for somebody who's type A.
I
know. We're loosening up. We're loosening up here doing it because it's not supposed to be perfect. It's not supposed to be totally straight.
Right.
There, and that's it. That's all you need. And then you're gonna hang this over the grass. Something protecting it on your floor because if it got on your floor, it could dye it. Okay. And then you could also do a double dye, like this beach bag. You're going to hold it right there like your perfect model.
All right.
You do a beach bag like this where I did 2 colors. I dipped the bottom, I let it dry, turned it over and dipped the top and let it dry.
How long does it usually take for these things to dry?
A couple of hours. It depends. Like if it's hot and sunny out and you've got it on the laundry rack outside.
I totally just ruined it. Whatever.
That's okay. I can actually give you a tip on that because I did this sweatshirt.
Yeah.
as well, okay? And it got the dye smudged on the top. Okay, so how do you fix that? They've got bleach pens. So you don't want to bleach it. Now, if you're okay with that, leave it. I mean, all the power to you.
Right.
But you take a little bleach pen and just touch it up like that. But that's not the point of this craft. It's not supposed to be perfect.
It's not supposed to be perfect. Got it.
It's supposed to be beachy, easy breezy, have fun, dip
absolutely.
it, throw it on over your bikini, and off you go.
Good DIY. I like that. Let's go to break. More coming up. Stay with us.